Mantras of our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says our thoughts are still ignorant, they must be enlightened. Our aspiration is still imperfect, it must be purified. Our action is still powerless, it must become effective. With my love and blessings, says our Divine Mother. Words of our Lord Sri Aurobindo, taken from the collective works of our Lord Sri Aurobindo, Book Essays Divine and Human, Volume 12, Topic Certitude. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, in the deep there is a greater deep, in the heights a greater height. Sooner shall man arrive at the borders of infinity than at the fullness of his own being. For that being is infinity, is God. I aspire to infinite force, infinite knowledge, infinite bliss. Can I attain it? Yes, but the nature of infinity is that it has no end. Say not that, say not before that I can attain it, I become it. Only so can man attain God, by becoming God. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, but before attaining, he can enter into relations with Him. To enter into relation with God is yoga. To enter into relation with God is yoga, the highest rapture and the noblest utility. There are relations within the compass of humanity we have developed. These are called prayer, worship, adoration, sacrifice, thought, faith, science, philosophy. There are other relations beyond our developed capacity, but within the compass of the humanity we have yet to develop. Those are the relations that are attained by the various practices we usually call yoga. We may not know Him as God. We may not know Him as God. We may know Him as nature, our higher self, infinity, some ineffable goal. It was so that Buddha approached Him, so approaches Him the rigid Advaitin. He is accessible even to the atheist, to the materialist he disguises himself in matter. For the nihilist he waits ambush in the bosom of annihilation. Next topic, Moksha. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says the pessimists have made moksha synonymous with annihilation or dissolution, but its true meaning is freedom. Its true meaning is freedom. He who is free from bondage is free, is mukta. But the last bondage is the passion for liberation itself, which must be renounced before the soul can be perfectly free, and the last knowledge is the realization that there is none bound, none desirous of freedom, but the soul is forever and perfectly free. That bondage is an illusion, and the liberation from bondage is an illusion. Our Lord says, not only are we bound, but in play, the mimic knots are of such a nature that we ourselves can, at our pleasure, undo them. Nevertheless, the bonds are many and intricate. The bonds are many and intricate. The most difficult of all their knots is egoism. The most difficult of all their knots is egoism, the delusion that we have with an individual existence sufficient in itself, separate from the universal, and only being, Ekameva Advitiyam, who's one not only beyond time, space, and casualty. Not only are we all Brahman in our nature and being, waves of one sea, but we are each of us Brahman in his entirety, for that which differentiates and limits us, Nama and Rupa, exists only in the play and for the sake of the world drama. Whence then comes this delusion of egoism if there is no separate existence and only Brahman is? Our Lord says, we answer that there is a separate existence but only in manifestation and not in reality. It is as if one actor can play different parts, not in succession, but at the same and at the same moment. Each part is he himself, one and indivisible, but each part is different from the other. Brahman extends himself in time, space, and casuality, which do not condition him but exist in him and can at any time be changed or abolished, and in time, space, and casuality. He attaches himself to many Namarupas, which are merely existences in his universal being. They are real in manifestation, unreal outside manifestation. Next topic, the law of the way, page 155. Our Lord Aurobindo says, first, be sure of the call and of thy soul's answer. For if the call is not true, not the touch of the God's powers or the voice of his messengers, but the lure of thy ego, the end of thy endeavor will be a poor spiritual fiasco or else a deep disaster. And if not the soul's fervor, but only the mind's assent or interest replies to the divine summons, or the lower life's desire clutches at one side, attraction of the fruits of the yoga power or the yoga pleasure, or only a transient emotion leaps like an unsteady flame moved by the intensity of the voice or its sweetness or grandeur, then too there can be little surety for thee in the difficult path of yoga. Our Lord Aurobindo says, the outer instruments of mortal man have no force to carry him through the severe orders of this spiritual journey, and the titanic inner battle ought to meet its terrible or obstinate ordeals, or nerve him to face and to overcome its subtle and formidable dangers. Only his spirit's august and steadfast will and the quenchless fire of his soul's invincible ardor are sufficient for this difficult transformation and this high, improbable endeavor. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, imagine not the way is easy, the way is long, arduous, dangerous, difficult. At every step is an ambush, at every turn a pitfall. 1,000 seen or unseen enemies will start up against thee, terrible in subtlety, against thy ignorance, formidable in power against thy weakness. And when with pain thou hast destroyed them, other thousands will surge up to take their place. Hell will vomit its hordes to oppose thee, and entering and wound and menace. Heaven will meet thee with its pitiless tests and its cold luminous denials. Thou shalt find thyself alone in thy anguish, the demons furious in thy path, the gods unwilling above thee. Ancient and powerful, cruel, unvanquished and close, and innumerable are the dark and dreadful powers that profit by the reign of night and ignorance, and would have no change and are hostile. Aloof, slow to arrive, far off and few and brief in their visits are the bright ones who are willing or permitted to succor. Each step forward is a battle. There are precipitous descents, there are unending ascensions and ever higher peaks upon peaks to conquer. Each plateau climbed, says our Lord, each plateau climbed is but a stage on the way and reveals endless heights beyond it. Each victory, thou thinkest the last triumphant struggle, proves to be but the prelude to 100 fierce and perilous battles. But thou sayest, God's hand will be with me, and the Divine Mother near, with her gracious smile of succor. And thou knowest not then that God's grace is more difficult to have or to keep than the nectar of the immortals or the Kubera's priceless treasures? Ask of his chosen, and they will tell thee how often the Eternal has covered his face from them, how often he has withdrawn from them behind his mysterious veil, and they have found themselves alone in the grip of hell, solitary in the hour of darkness, naked and defenseless in the anguish of the battle. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, and if his presence is felt behind the veil, yet is it like the winter sun behind clouds, and saves not from the rain and snow, and the calamitous storm, and the harsh wind, and the bitter cold, and the grey of a sorrowful atmosphere, and the dun, weary dullness? Doubtless, the help is there, even when it seems to be withdrawn. Doubtless, says our Lord, the help is there, even when it seems to be withdrawn, but still is there the appearance of the total night with no sun to come, no star of hope to pierce the blackness. Beauty is the face of the Divine Mother, but she too can be hard and terrible. Nay, then is immortality a plaything to be given lightly to a child, or a divine life a prize without effort, or the crown for a weakling? Strive rightly, and thou shalt have trust, and thy trust shall in the end be justified. But the dread law of way is there. and none can abrogate it, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo.